Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. RHOA Kroy Biermann, a prisoner of Kim Zolciak for 13 years. RHOA alum and former pro NFL player, Kroy Biermann claims that he was a prisoner of Kim Zolciak's for 13 years. He has been struggling with his estranged wife for over a year now, and it is not getting any easier. Now she has made some claims about him, but he has his own story to tell. Keep reading for more details. Kroy Biermann, a prisoner of Kim Zolciak for 13 years. When Kroy Biermann and Kim Zolciak filed for divorce, it was a big shock as they seemed so in love. Not only did he adopt her 2 children from previous relationships, but they had 4 additional children together. From meeting on RHOA, the couple landed their own spin-off, Don't Be Tardy, and lived a life of luxury. Sadly, they had several lawsuits, owed over $1 million to the IRS, and their home was facing foreclosure. Eventually, they ended their marriage and threw allegations at one another. They did try to reconcile, but that did not fix anything, so they proceeded with the dissolution of the marriage. Things took an aggressive turn and the police were called repeatedly to the home. Kroy called Kim out for having a gambling addiction and excessive spending. Now he is trying to force the sale of their home as she wants it priced higher than he deems necessary. He just wants it sold so it won't go into foreclosure, thus affecting his credit. Kim has since come out and alleged she pays for everything and Kroy wants her back, but he is doubling down on that story. He took to his Instagram stories to share how he feels and his truth. First, Kroy Biermann shared a handful of slides about narcissism to set the stage. Then, he explained that he had been a prisoner of Kim Zolciak's for 13 years. More so, he called out the TMZ interview where she claimed there were also allegations that their eldest child, Kroy Biermann, pays for more than Kroy does. He now appears to want to speak his truth as he has been silenced for way too long. Fans slam Kim. After seeing Kim Zolciak's interview about her and Kroy Biermann, fans were not on her side in the slightest. They felt that she was the one responsible for the family's downfall due to her various addictions and needed to get a proper job. Kim, you broke that man, then started playing in his face. That's because he's the only one who actually takes care of all of their kids. He's a full-time dad. Yeah, because she drained his bank account. This lady is a train wreck. Well, I'm sure he has nothing left thanks to you. Girl, he definitely doesn't want you back. You dragged him down. They do not think that he wants her back as she claims and believe Kim drained Kroy dry. So it is clear whatever Kroy has to say, followers are listening. For over a decade, whispers and rumors followed Kroy Biermann, former NFL star and now full-time reality TV spouse, as he navigated his marriage to the fiery and unapologetic Kim Zolciak. On the surface, they seemed like the perfect couple, the dynamic duo of Bravo's Real Housewives of Atlanta, where Kim's larger-than-life personality complemented Kroy's laid-back, footballer demeanor. But behind the scenes, there was a darker narrative unfolding, one that Kroy himself would later describe as being a prisoner in his own life for 13 long years. The beginning, a fairy tale with shackles. Their love story started like something out of a fairy tale. Kroy, the young, successful linebacker, crossed paths with Kim at a charity event, and the attraction was immediate. The cameras caught their flirtatious banter, their electric chemistry, and the subsequent whirlwind romance. The audience ate it up. Kim, already known for her unpredictable outbursts, larger-than-life wigs, and signature red solo cup filled with wine, seemed to have found the perfect counterpart in Kroy. To many, it looked like Kroy had saved Kim from her tumultuous dating past. She was infamous for her relationship with Big Papa, a mysterious married benefactor who funded her lavish lifestyle. But Kroy was different. He was steady, grounded, and seemingly patient. They got married quickly, had 4 kids together, and Kroy even adopted Kim's 2 daughters from her previous relationships. He became a hero, not just to her but to her fans. However, as the years passed, cracks began to show. Behind closed doors. A life under control. As Kim's star continued to rise, Kroy's world began to shrink. What started as a partnership of equals gradually morphed into a one-sided dynamic where Kim held all the power. Kroy, who had once been a successful professional athlete, suddenly found himself on the sidelines in every aspect of his life. Everything was about Kim, one insider revealed. Kroy stopped having his own opinions. It was like he became a shell of the man he used to be. Kim's controlling tendencies didn't just apply to their household or finances. She reportedly dictated every aspect of Kroy's life, from what he wore to how he spoke. She even convinced him to retire from football early so he could focus on being a full-time dad and help her with her various business ventures. Kroy, who had once dreamed of a long NFL career, gave it all up to serve Kim's empire. In hindsight, it became evident that Kroy's decision to leave football was less about family and more about Kim's desire for control. Friends of Kroy whispered that Kim didn't want him traveling or being away from her for too long. The more he was at home, the more she could manipulate every aspect of his existence. The financial abyss. A trap too deep. Perhaps the most significant aspect of Kim's control over Kroy was their financial situation. As viewers of RHOA and their spin-off show, Don't Be Tardy would later learn, the couple's lavish lifestyle far exceeded their means. Kim's obsession with designer clothes, flashy jewelry, and opulent homes became a point of contention. She spent recklessly, often claiming that the universe would provide, and that they were meant to live in luxury. But while Kim spent, Kroy managed. He tried desperately to rein in her spending, but it was a losing battle. Their financial troubles grew, and they eventually faced lawsuits, foreclosures, and rumors of bankruptcy. Even with mounting debt, Kim refused to scale back. She lived in a fantasy world, and Kroy, by this point mentally and emotionally beaten down, complied with her every demand. Those close to Kroy described him as trapped. His savings were gone, his career was over, and his identity had become so entangled with Kim's that he didn't know how to escape. Every time he tried to stand up for himself or suggest they live more frugally, Kim would allegedly gaslight him, making him feel guilty or ungrateful. The breaking point. Escaping the gilded cage. After years of being under Kim's thumb, Kroy began to show signs of rebellion. The pressures of living in financial ruin, combined with Kim's unrelenting control, finally pushed him to his breaking point. Friends noticed he had started speaking out more, questioning decisions, and even discussing the idea of returning to the workforce in some capacity. Kim, of course, didn't take kindly to this. The dynamic between them became increasingly volatile, with heated arguments and accusations. Kim would reportedly threaten to leave, take the kids, and paint Kroy as the villain, despite the fact that he had given up his entire life to cater to her dreams. She knew how to push his buttons, and for years, she used his loyalty and love against him. But Kroy had reached his limit. After 13 years of living in what he later described as an emotional and financial prison, Kroy began consulting with lawyers, setting plans in motion to regain control of his life and finances. Friends say that he is focused on rebuilding the career and identity he lost over the years, with or without Kim. A new chapter, Kroy's liberation. While the future remains uncertain, one thing is clear: Kroy is ready to reclaim his life. He's slowly distancing himself from the toxic hold Kim had on him, prioritizing his mental health, and ensuring that his children are protected from the financial chaos that has engulfed their household. As for Kim, her reaction to Kroy's growing independence has been predictably erratic. But those close to Kroy believe that he has finally found the strength to break free from the prison he lived in for over a decade. The question remains, will Kroy truly find liberation, or is the pull of Kim's influence too strong for him to escape completely? Only time will tell if this RHOA husband can step out of the shadows and into his own light once again.